Hey everyone, it's Sonya here with Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company. It is October 29th and we are doing a heart to heart. So what that means is anybody that is catching this episode, and my gosh, what are we? Episode 79? I think it's episode 79, which means we are so close to another year of full information on podcasts, helping you design your life in the areas of meals, movement, mindset, and money. So today we have a special guest, and it's going to be a very special episode. So if you were going to be catching this video, we're also going to be on YouTube. Delynn Miller is here to join me today. Yay! For a heart to heart. I'm going to share with you briefly how I met Delynn. And for those, actually I don't have a copy with me, maybe you do, Delynn, but for those that, I don't have it handy. Yes, I do. I found it. For those that are watching this on YouTube or in the Facebook group, Delynn and I first met when it came to writing these books together. We each did a chapter in here, and I truly believe we were meant to meet. We have so much in common. And yes, by bringing you here, you all get to see a little bit of my space, things that make me happy and bring me joy, from books that I've written and some of my favorite people have written, my children when they were little, some creative pieces I've done, and definitely how to keep track of my life a little bit, right? So bringing you in, Delynn, you can appreciate all of this because I see you've got some of your favorite things behind you.
I do. Awesome. I know, and in front of me, it's like even more. It's all the abundance.
The abundance. And do you feel, oh my gosh, it's so funny you said that. So before we get started, I need to share with everybody that every single day, you've heard me talk about this, I draw 3 of my 8 Oracle decks. And I always draw 3 cards. So this one is an energy card. It depends if the card is upright or reversed. This is the essential oil I choose for the day. And this is my chakra card. So this one always goes in the diffuser. And I write out, you've heard me talk about this too. This is what I'm working on for the beginning of the end of the year, the Design Your Life playbook. And what this is, what I will do now is I will take the messages in the cards and write them down on this playbook that I'm putting together for everybody. But this is my affirmation page. It says my affirmation for today is, and I take out the message that's in there, or I use that information or that affirmation, and I write on this book. And what am I looking forward to most today? Again, I listen to the messages that are in those cards. So here's why I'm sharing. Because as Delynn and I were getting started, we were just getting the first attempt at the video set up. I had pulled my final card, which I almost didn't do, and check it out.
Of course.
Abundance.
Of course.
Of course. And the two of us chatting about what we're going to be sharing with you today, I promise you guys, we are going to fill your life with abundance. And I'm not talking financial abundance. I'm talking vulnerable, real, authentic abundance in different ways that are going to make your soul soar and crave for more. Don't be surprised if you notice a difference after today's call. I'm going to take a minute and read this. How does that sound?
Perfect.
Are you curious, Delynn?
Always.
Always? Okay, perfect. Abundance. Gold coins. I only seek to give you what you ask for. So the legend is, because this Oracle book always starts with a legend, which is a story, and they come up with the cutest names for the characters. Okay. Inside a magical treasure chest, gold chains swap stories. One coin tells how a man foolishly dropped her down a drain, then cried instead of trying to get her out. Later, an enterprising little girl used string and chewing gum to fish out the coin. The coin remembers how the girl saved them, along with many others, and eventually bought a house. All of the coin's desires was to be well spent. They agree that she was indeed a white person. So this is the story behind abundance, okay? What you have in front of you, do you use it? Or do you ignore it? Or do you treat it with gratitude so you can have more? The inspiration for this message: think about your relationship with money. Are you the wise girl or the foolish man that thinks it wasn't worth it? Money is naturally attracted towards appreciation and gratitude. So your personal inquiry that came with this card: be wary of using your financial situation as an excuse to avoid doing something. Oh my gosh, how many of us have done that, right? I just can't afford it. I can't afford it. And are your thoughts and actions around money empowering or disempowering you? I've done a couple of different podcasts, guys, listening to this, and I'm sure you have too, Dylan, on the mindset with money. And this is huge. Okay, key ideas: abundance through gratitude, which we're going to talk a little bit more about today. Gratitude itself, releasing regret, so forgiving yourself, and being good with money. Keywords: friendship, wisdom, and windfall. So there's a meditation that goes with this, and I'm going to take a minute and walk you all through this meditation just to share, and then we are going to get more information from Dylan. How does that sound? Sounds good?
Awesome.
Okay, so here's a meditation that comes with the sign abundance, the card that I pulled. This one. Okay. Place the money before you. Pick it up. Have you thought about how many souls have touched it before it came to you? Feel its energy. The value we derive from money is the exchange of energy. Imagine this money transforming into your desires. Be aware of your empowered relationships and your improved relationships with money. So, Dylan, you're nodding your head this whole time. And so there's something else you guys need to know before we go too far into this is Dylan had asked me before we got started, is there anything we're going to talk about? Do you want to fill me in? And I said, no, not at all. And now I know what we're talking about. I was just going to intuitively take it by direction. But Dylan right now, I can tell you she is beaming from the inside because of what she spoke about last week that I heard. And I had no idea I was playing this card this morning. Dylan, please introduce yourself.
This is incredible. And I love, I mean, by nurture, I guess, I like to be a planner, right? And this is a big piece of what I help people do is really look at where our habitual thinking is, right? So habitual thinking, I was like, what are we talking about? Like, let me plan it in my head, right? But when you learn to really trust and love that inner knowing, that's where the magic is. And so I honestly, my face hurts already from smiling because I'm like, yes, like that's where you're going to get this true, authentic conversation, right? So I absolutely adore that you're doing this. That's so good. So a little introduction to myself, I guess. So by nature and nurture, I'm a go-getter. Okay. And I am, if you would have asked me, years and years ago, if I knew about personal development, I would have said, yeah, I'm a personal growth junkie, right? I had read all the books. I had, went and walked on fire with Tony Robbins and like listened to all the podcasts and like did stuff like this, was like, yeah, like I'm all in it. But my results weren't showing that I actually knew any of it. And that really frustrated me. And my first go-to was like, I guess I got to go back to school, right? Because that's what our society sets us up for. Like, you got to go back to school, right? But then I kind of looked at my wall and I was like, dang, I already have, like, I got quite a few pieces of paper hanging up there and I'm still not getting the results I want. So what else, right? And that was when I stopped looking outside of me and I started looking inside of me. I said, there's something to this. Like, I've been reading about how thoughts are things, and I've been reading about following your intuition and practicing gratitude and having a journal and I've been reading about all of it, and I had it on a conscious level. I was like, yep, I get it.
So I'm going to ask you,
get it.
I'm curious. I'm going to stop you right here and ask you, I really want this to be conversational style, where my middle daughter has called me a ping pong talker. So that's how I like it. I ping pong. Okay. So let me
Yep.
ask you right here, because I know there's many people listening to this or will be listening to this or watching this that are just like us,
Yep.
right? Like they come from your walk of life. They come from my walk of life. We've got a couple of things in common, the book, a network marketing, the same network marketing team. We're not on the same team, but we've got one of the same product lines. And we believe that there is so much more.
Yep.
So do you remember what originally got you curious enough to want to learn more about that information, the information that we're sharing today, the information of abundance?
Yeah. So I come from corporate healthcare. Okay. So everything that I've ever done in my entire life, I was like, I just know I want to help people get healthy. Right. And when I look at my like growing up, right, there was a lot of family members with illness. Like I see exactly why I gravitated to healthcare. Right. And when I was in corporate healthcare, though, worked for a hospital and was like, don't really feel like this is this isn't how I thought I was going to be showing up in this space. But I kept like nurturing it, but wasn't really sure. It was just that feeling. You guys would have that feeling, right? You know, that feeling that just like something's not right here.
I was just about to ask you if you could describe it, because as a coach, like a senior coach, we've been around the coaching block for years and years now, almost decades.
Yeah.
Well, I've been 12 years. And how long have you been coaching?
In this space?
Yeah.
Exposure, 20 years, really.
So good point. Like, yeah. So here's the thing. We use words like space, but the words space and surroundings and environment and alignment were not part of our vocabulary pre-industry. No. And when I say industry, it's an industry of falling in love with yourself.
Yeah.
It's an industry of being a paid problem solver.
Yeah.
It's an industry of having the most abundant relationships.
Yeah.
This isn't an industry where you're making money for somebody else and slugging your time against the grind. So do you remember what it first felt like?
For sure. Like, and it's always hindsight. It's always hindsight. You're always going to look back and go, oh, this happened, and which led me to this, and then this, and then this, right? So it started with that feeling, right? And then for me, it was like, I call it the shit show. It was like this hurricane of things happened in my outside world, right? That really made me go, had they not happened, I probably would still be working in the hospital, climbing the corporate ladder, doing my thing, right?
Can you share? Are you comfortable sharing what some of those are? I'm letting
100%.
Yeah, so, give me 2 or 3 things, and I'm going to share my reason for that in a minute.
For sure. So I guess 2012, I had my first daughter. Okay. And I started feeling that, I had it beforehand, but like having her and like being with her, I was just like, oh my gosh, this makes you look at life differently. Right. I had a habitual thought process change. I call it a paradigm shift. Okay. Like I had a thought and then it changed, it shifted. And so when I had her, I started looking at life differently. Okay. And then like a hot second later, because that's how it works, I had another daughter. Okay. Very close together. And right after I finished my maternity leave with my second daughter, I was borrowed from the hospital to open up this hospice in our community. So a hospice is where people go to die. And we were building this hospice. It was like a passion project. I was so passionate about it. And for the first time though, I really realized, I was like, oh, it's not just really old people coming here to die. Like there's people my age. Right. And, that was my first thing. And I was like, this is, and I was surrounded by death constantly, because we're talking about death, talking to people that are dying, talking to their families. What experiences do you want? Right. And again, that happened for me. I needed that, right? Because I needed that like mortality check.
But did you see that at the time?
No, 100%. I was doing my job. I was doing
your job, but how were you feeling when you came home at night?
So
you had your 2 girls at home.
Right. In that
you had this career.
I was exhausted. Because I wasn't living on purpose. Right. So I was there doing a job, but it wasn't. But
remember, we don't know, as our younger versions of ourselves, we don't know what the word on purpose means yet.
No. No.
We just know that something isn't right.
Right.
We know that
Right.
we're not in alignment. We know that we feel off. And here's how we know. Correct me if I'm wrong, interject, do the ping pong thing, still in. But we're exhausted. When we're at work, we're thinking about our family. When we're with our family, we're thinking about our work. We're not able to separate those identities.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't know who we were pre-baby.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we really, this is one of our most significant shifts in our lives as moms. Now, you don't know this yet, but it happens 2 more times in your life. It happens when you become an empty nester.
Yeah.
And it's actually so much different because you've spent the equal amount of time that you were yourself as a mom, in theory, right? As a hands-on mom, this doesn't change. This gets worse because nobody has kids with the intention of doing it by yourself for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right? So now you've got that expectation. Maybe you're single, maybe you're working, maybe it's different than what you thought it would be. And now you're by yourself as a sudden empty nester in your late 30s, early 40s. Now I know that's not your story. That was part of my story.
It will be eventually.
It could be. You don't know, right? Like,
Yep.
Things change. We know this. Things change. We can manifest the life that we want. Again, this is our future self talking. But here's another point I want you to think about. You started feeling overwhelmed, overexhausted.
Mm-hmm.
You were not happy. Things weren't working. All of a sudden, things were good, and then all of a sudden they weren't.
Yep. Yep.
Almost overnight. And you almost didn't question the shift. It happened.
No, yeah. And it happened all at once. So right as I'm building this hospice, my first daughter, who was 2 at the time, gets diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So her pancreas just stops working. Okay. Mm-hmm. So again, sudden, like, oh my gosh, like this is happening. Like that stuff doesn't happen to me and my family. Right. So that happens. And then within months, my mom has a double lung transplant. She needs a double lung transplant. And again, a lot of complications. And it's just like 2 main people in my life are having health issues. I'm building a hospice and I'm feeling this, like, what am I here for? What is my purpose? What am I, like, if I were to go tomorrow, how am I going to be remembered?
Yes. I love that. I love this. Because those that have been listening to me for a while know I talk about leaving a legacy. Yeah. What legacy are you leaving behind? And that is a great revolution for anybody listening to this. If you've heard my railroad analogy, your arms all the way to the right, and between your wrist and your fingers and your wrist, that this is your end of life. It's going to happen. And we do this whole analogy. I'm not going to go over it now. If anybody's curious, let me know. But it's on some other podcasts as well. And we know it's going to happen. At the end of the day, what do you want somebody to say when they stand up and say your eulogy? Oh, she worked all the time? They're not going to show up. Your employer's not going to show up. We don't live in that kind of society anymore. Your employer is not your best friend anymore, as somebody that you would hang out with and they would be there. That's a completely different story now. So who is going to be the one standing up at your eulogy saying what about you? You want to make your life memorable.
And I even think, 100 years from now, not like right when I leave my meat stick, when my soul leaves my meat stick, right? Not right then. What are they going to say, when my grandkids are talking to their grandkids about me? What do they say?
So that's a great question.
When people are reading our book, because this is out there forever now. We have other books out there forever. When they're reading it in 100 years.
What else are you working on? Like, what do you have?
Lots of stuff.
You know what? Yes, I'm sorry. I'm getting excited. Yeah. We're talking over each other. But I was going to ask you, that's why you wrote the book, isn't it?
Well, I wrote just the way we express anything, right? Like, it's so important for us as humans to express ourselves, right? So you could do it. It could be a podcast. It could be a book. It could be, you have a YouTube channel, or maybe you're active on social media, or maybe you go out and you do public speaking, or whatever that looks like. But we are meant to express ourselves. Yes. Right? Because when we start to suppress, that's what leads to things like anxiety and dis-ease in the body, right? And I'm hyphenating dis-ease,
Yeah.
right? And like, this is what causes it, right? We are meant to express. And it's so interesting because at the beginning of the year, like when I'm coaching people, we create a new self-image, right? We have to create our self-image of who we are becoming, and then we step into them and we become them. Okay. So I created my self-image at, I would say, about a year ago. It was about even earlier, last summer. And I had put in it, and again, there's a few things I put, it was just, again, intuitively came out of me. I put in there that I'm a New York Times bestselling author. And I was like, I also put in there that I run long distances. I'm like, I really, as of right now, not so much, but apparently I'm going to. But at the time I was like,
I'll run them with you.
Perfect. Great. So I was just like, I didn't even know I wanted to write a book. Had no idea if I wanted to write a book at all. Right. But then with like, I can't even make it up if I tried, within like a month, someone reached out and said, hey, we're putting together this compilation of high level network marketers. Can you write a chapter in this book? And it was like, oh, well, okay. Right. Part of the paradigm habitual thinking of me was like, who do you think you are? You can't do that. Nobody's going to want to read it. Nobody want to hear, right? You're like,
did those thoughts actually come up?
Oh, my paradigm's name is Linda. And I, you know, that YouTube video of that little kid going, listen, Linda, listen.
I know. You know what? The reason why I'm asking, I don't have mine named yet.
That's why I named her that, because honestly, sometimes she pipes in, and if you don't laugh, you cry, right? So I'm just
actually,
like,
that's true. That's probably true. And that's a good trick I've heard twice this week is to name your negative Nelly.
Yeah.
And actually, that's probably the name of mine is probably Negative Nelly. Yeah, I call her that all the time.
I don't necessarily look at her as negative. I look at her as my, the way I was programmed to think, right? So there's parts of Linda that I'm like, damn girl, I love you. Like she's actually like a really positive person. I mean, I'm very blessed to be raised. My mom, extremely positive person. Okay. So like that's how I was raised. So Linda, because your paradigm's formed in the first 7 or 8 years of your life. Right. So it's like, she's like, nope, this is how we think. But she still has a ton of limiting beliefs around so many things, right? So she's more like my habitual thinking. I had to, instead of saying like, go away, Linda, you're not here anymore, I'm more like, let's link arms and I'll teach you how we do it now to become who we want to become. That's versus awesome. Like, peace out, right?
So in a way, your Linda is your spiritual guide.
100%. Yeah. She's my old self. She's my old self. She's not my higher self.
So does your higher self ever show up?
All the time. I only make decisions from her now. I'm so clear on who she is. I created her. And
isn't it amazing? So yeah. I don't know if you actually heard a chance to listen to my live today that I did on social media.
I haven't yet.
Oh, okay. So you're not going to believe this. It's about me stepping into my future self and about how I am my calendar. And I am reprioritizing my calendar to be more in alignment with who I am, which is that future self that I'm working on, that cottage that I'm working on. And everything I talked about, the wins of the week, because on Friday, so I don't know if you've been catching these, but life gets busy. I don't catch Dylan, she doesn't catch mine, life is busy. And I didn't really give her a lot of notice to watch today's live. It's more, if you can, you can, and if you can't, you can't.
I will.
But you're going to get it. You're going to get it. So Monday's motivation, Transformation Tuesdays, and it's not what you expect. Wellness Wednesdays, Thankful Thursdays, again, not always what you expect. Yesterday's Thankful Thursday, the dogs and I were at the beach, and I talked about Mother Nature and the sun and the water and what those two elements do for me. But on Friday is actually my hardest one, and it's Check-in Friday. And I go through and I write out my wins for the week. So I review what was on there from the week before as I take that message and edit it. And I have to put 4 or 5 things on that list that are going to help me move into my future life.
Yep.
Today's number 1 tip was learning that I am my calendar and that I am designing my life my way. And it's starting with my calendar. So I will
are the decisions we make.
Exactly.
The
And
choices
so where
we
are we
make.
spending our time? And when I think about how relaxed I was this week, everything I did, the people, the authentic conversations that I got to have, which were more meaningful than just doing anything else that my time used to dictate,
Mhm.
I am going at a completely different pace. I'm eating healthier foods because I'm doing these things. And this is the side effects. This is the side effect to abundance.
Yep.
Honestly, it's when I say, when we pulled abundance this morning, again, no idea, but it's not just financial abundance. It's what makes your soul sing. And this is what we're sharing about today is, we started talking a little bit about what got her, the feelings that got Delynn curious about an alternative to her current life. She
Mhm.
knew that she wasn't in alignment because nothing was feeling right. At
Yep.
the end of the day, she
Yep.
was overwhelmed, exhausted. She wasn't sure what the next best move was.
Yep.
Because she wasn't slowing down enough to create space to think.
Yep.
I've been there.
Yep.
I've been there more than once.
Yep.
And listening to this video or this podcast, however you are getting it, you're probably thinking, wow, like they're vulnerable. Well, I didn't give Delynn a choice but to be vulnerable today and to be real and to be authentic. But this is what you need to hear. There are people like us that are willing to share all of the good and the bad and the ugly along with our personal success stories.
Yep.
Because thinking differently, which is what it boils down to, is thinking differently, whether you do the Bob Proctor approach or you find a different way of thinking differently, you're challenging limiting beliefs that have been in your family for generations. And we're going to have two different ways of delivering the same content or similar content. And there's going to be 5,000 other coaches out there that will deliver similar content.
Mhm.
Find who speaks to you the best.
Yep.
The best.
Yep.
We're many people, and Delynn, I'm sure you can attest to this, many of our business sisters, if you would, people in similar industries won't speak to other coaches at all. They
Yep.
won't set up meetings or conversations. You would normally skip. I won't do this because I don't care. I've met the best people this way.
Yep.
And there's a book I've read, Girl Code. This is why I'm a geek, because I normally pull my books out while I'm talking.
But this is where you, like, when you truly live an abundant, going back, if you understand that you live in an abundant universe, and
Yes.
we never go, when you truly understand that, you never go into competition, you're always in creation, right? So instead of us being in competition, right, it's like, what can we create together? Well, we can create
we are co-creating, and that's what we're doing today.
Right.
Is we're on
creating
many different
message
ways
that's meaningful for people, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
creating a space where people can resonate, right? And that's where you can, and you start to know when you're starting to be on purpose, right? So you talk about owning your calendar, and all our calendar is it's just a series of decisions that we made over a period of time, right? And you can look at you can tell everything about a person based on their results. You can tell everything about them. And if you look at your results right now, if they aren't what you want them to be, look at your calendar for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Look at your bank account for the last 6 months.
Oh my gosh.
Where has your time went, and where have your dollars went? And I can tell you, for me, when I started putting my time into being on purpose, like, I knew my purpose, I knew the vision for my life, I had goals, I knew where I was going, plus I invested in myself, not just books and reading things and getting them on a conscious level, but like on a coach. When I invested in my own coach, I will always have a coach.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
Me too.
Always, 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 always. I will always have a coach of my own. And I like to, I've rotated through a couple, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet I've had the same one now for an extended period of time because they keep growing, right? And I'm like, we're good.
Well, here's the thing. And on that note, stop and think of your social circle. Is your social circle growing, or is it the exact same as what it used to be? Like when you were kids, we all change, we all grow. And if you're in an environment where you're not growing, you're limiting yourself. So what I realized, and I said this last week, I am attracting every day, like part of this I know, I'm geeking out. You guys, I'm trying to make you excited to want to buy this when it comes out. Oh, I should put my glasses on, but right here. Can you read that?
No. Today I'm grateful for the people in my life. I'm grateful for. One thing I learned about myself today was.
So the people I'm grateful for, every single day, I write down the people I am grateful for, because I normally write down every single conversation, like like I'll write Dylan's name down, or any conversation I had today, just their name, because I attracted them in my life for a reason.
Yep.
And I might not know what that reason is, and it might not be what I expected to be, but
Yep.
they were attracted to me like a magnet. I had magnetized these people into my life for
Yep.
whatever reason.
Yep.
And I don't need to know yet. I'll figure it out, but they're important to me today.
Yep.
And that's huge. When we stop and realize we are being presented with the solutions, with the people to what we've got going on right now, and they're showing up.
Yep.
You know, it's like, how many times do you have to have them show up, show up, show up? Because the message isn't going to go away.
No.
I might show up, Dylan might show up, you might get 10 more conversations about network marketing or about working with a coach, and you might still miss it. And then all of a sudden something else happens in your life and you're like, whoa,
Yeah,
I have no choice now. I need a coach.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Yes. And that's just the fact. And you'll gravitate to who you gravitate to, right? But the thing is like getting out of your own way, right? And if you know your purpose in life, right? So for me, 5 years ago, I resigned in corporate healthcare, and I said, I'm going all in. I have no idea what this is going to look like. Couldn't have even said like I'm going to be in a formal coaching space or whatever. Like I knew I had my network marketing business. I knew where it was sitting. But really every single business, whether you're in network marketing or you're a small business owner or you're a coach or whatever, everything on our outside is a mirror of our inside. We think in pictures and it comes to pass. Our environment is but a looking glass, right?
Oh my gosh, say that again. I have to write that down. Say it again.
We think in pictures and it comes to pass. Our environment is but our looking glass.
We think in pictures.
I'll go back and listen to your podcast.
What? Actually, I've done that. I'm like, man, this person's, it's me. Like, we don't always recognize our voice. We think in pictures.
And it comes to pass. Our environment is but a looking glass.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Well, I didn't make it up. I'm not gonna lie. It's a quote. I'm a quoter. I like quotes.
Our environment becomes a looking glass.
It's but our looking glass. Yeah. It's a looking glass. It's everything is a mirror of ourselves.
So our environment
is but a looking glass.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. You were wanting me to quote it again. Yeah. So everything, we keep going to outside sources, right? Like, I want to grow my business. I got to learn this strategy. I got to do this. I got to do this. When you truly understand that life is 5% strategy and 95% mindset, your life will change.
Absolutely.
It's guaranteed. But I did my Clifton Strengths Finder, and I learned my number one strategy, or my number one strength is strategy. Okay. Like I was constantly creating systems, coming up with strategies, doing all the things, right? And it was when I made the switch to going, you know what? Yes, I can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, and I'm so grateful for that. But I need to stop living from the outside in, because I have everything. I was born with everything I need in order to live this life. I would not have been given an imagination, a will, perception, all of these beautiful higher faculties that I have if I wasn't meant to use them. My intuition, right?
Well, your intuition. And let me take that to the next level. That would never have led to the clarity that you have now if you didn't listen and take direction. That clarity doesn't show up at the beginning.
Right.
That clarity shows up when you're ready.
Yeah.
And that's when everything changes.
That's right.
And that's what's happened to you.
But when strategy took over, I used to think, well, before I can do anything, I have to know everything about it. Right. So it's like, but that's not that I was getting in my own way constantly, right? So as long as I know my goal, right? It's like taking a trip. If I want to drive to Toronto, right? In Ontario, if I want to drive to Toronto, Ontario, okay, that's my goal. I'm driving to Toronto. Okay, well now I know, then I have to know where I am right now. Well, where I am is I'm in my driveway. Okay, well I only need to know turn left to get out of my driveway. That's all I need to know. Get on this highway that leads to Toronto. That's all I need to know. I don't need to know every road to get me there. I just
Have you always lived your life like that?
Pardon me?
Have you always lived your life like that?
No, I was planning. I was so busy planning and not busy doing.
So I'm the polar opposite, and people aren't used to me. So I remember the first time Tony and I went to hop on the Metro in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's called the Metro. What's that called?
I don't know.
Anyways, okay. You can tell we're small town girls. Have a big impact on the world. Just saying. He's like, well, where do we park? Where do we do this? I'm like, just trust me. And he's like, what? He needs all the facts, figures, details. But he did such an awesome job one year for my birthday because he knows me. The only thing he planned because of a reservation was dinner. Everything else, we did all of these different things, but no schedule.
Yeah.
Don't give me a schedule. Yeah. Like that's it goes against the three, I want to think of the right word, core beliefs.
So isn't that interesting that you're trying to own your calendar right now and you don't want a schedule?
Because you're right. That's very interesting. First of all, I don't like a schedule, but I'm setting this on you should see what's going on my calendar. Okay. Wait and see what's going on my calendar, though. That's a very good point. Glasses. So I control my calendar. I am my calendar. I am ready to design my life my way is the affirmation that I write down.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on my calendar is either the beach or the woods as one category. Friends as another category. Family as another category. Personal development. Money matters. Creative time. Creative time could be baking, cooking, playing, working on a few other things. Coaching. So when I'm coaching with my clients, some of these have commitments. If I'm doing my retreats that I'm going to talk to you about in a little bit, and if it's passive income, like working on my book or a weekend away.
Love it.
So it's not a traditional calendar, is it?
No.
It's the basics of my life with my goals, because now I'm stepping into my avatar, which is exactly what you just talked about. You've been doing this for about a year. I've just stepped into living my future self, that cottage girl.
Yep.
Everything I wear to the way I do my hair to the way I've been eating has indirectly been about 6 months, but I've been consciously aware of it for about the last month or so, which means now I'm a little bit more focused. Everything I do now, everything I just talked about with my calendar has to do with achieving time freedom, balanced energy, and elevated finances. Everything.
Yep.
Because my future self is going to have that cottage.
So as long as you're making decisions from her, though, you will naturally the law of attraction starts to kick in. Right. So that's because we're run by these our whole world is run, all our entire existence is run by these universal laws. Right. And if you picture, if life came with a rule book,
this would be it.
If life came with a rule book,
where is it?
The universal laws would be.
This would be it.
The laws for success. That would be.
This would be it. All of the laws are in here.
Yes. But if it would be universal laws, right? You know the rules, you win the game.
Or this
you don't
one.
know the rules, the 4 agreements, that's such a good one.
Anyways, sorry, sidebar.
You don't know the rules, you lose, right? Yep. You don't get what you want. But everybody, we're not programmed. We are designed to get what we want, but we're not programmed in our society to accept that you can have anything you want.
We haven't been taught that, right?
It's supposed to be hard, and it's like, it's not supposed to be hard.
But nobody's taught us this. And that's what we're here to do. We're helped to teach people what we've experienced, because our ancestors aren't here to teach us. Yeah. They're guiding us, and we know this, but they're not here to teach us.
Yeah.
because they did it too, and they were called what? Witchcraft?
I would have been burned
Whatever.
at the stake for sure.
I'm not saying we're witches. I mean, it's Halloween. This is the Halloween episode. Perfect timing. Delinda, do like that. But here's the thing. If we would have, like, society has changed, and maybe this has been going on for a very long time, but we didn't have technology.
Yep.
Technology brings us so much closer and makes the conversation so much more real.
Yep. But
You have never shown up for an interview.
Yeah, because like everything's already created, right?
Yeah.
So like our creator,
Yes.
whatever you believe that is, God, source, universe, it's
Yep.
everything's already created, right? So if everything's already created, it's here in one form or the other. So even back when our ancestors were like cave people, right? We had everything we needed for Zoom, for YouTube, for the internet, for airplanes, right? But nobody had the awareness to get there, right? But then all of a sudden, airplanes, the Wright brothers come along and they start putting together universal law, figure out flight, invent an airplane, and now look at us flying all over the world.
Well, and then look at Henry Ford. Like he had to prove that he wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
And everybody's driving Fords now.
That's right.
Right? Like, so if, guys, as you grow, you're going to go through adversity. Yeah. These are showing up in your life for a reason. So it's not, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening for me?
That's right. What am I supposed to learn from it?
And you're not going to see it in the moment. So let yourself feel those feelings that hurt in the moment.
If you accept and just understand that fear is a part of the process, it is inevitable. When you start entertaining something outside of yourself, when you have that intuitive moment of like, wouldn't it be cool to live in a cabin somewhere and like run retreats from it? Wouldn't that be cool, right? That's your intuition. That's your intuition coming in. But then boom, your Linda's going to come in like a freight train and start going, really? Like, you think you could do that? No. Is there stability there? Or like all your money stories will start to come in. All of, like, you'll hear great grandma Ethel like chirping in your ear about security. I don't even know if you have a great grandma Ethel.
No, but that's Tony's mom's name.
Oh, okay.
Who passed when he was 17.
Oh gosh.
Delynn had no idea, guys. Isn't that weird?
Out of all names that I would have chose too.
Out of all names she would have chosen.
With you right now, she must be. So like you can hear the stories that they were told, right? But they were raised, right? Like you think we're bringing in our stories. Like my grandparents, your grandparents would have been born and raised during like the Great Depression, right? So their paradigms were formed during this time in the world, right? And then a
time of scarcity and lack.
Right, absolutely. And then they raised our parents
to be in scarcity and lack.
And then our parents raised us to be
in scarcity and lack.
And at no fault of their own. Like it's not about blaming. It's everybody's doing the best they can with their current level of awareness. But it's not your fault that your paradigm, your Linda is formed, but it is your responsibility to shift it. Because if my limiting Lindas aren't going to get me to the cabin, we're running retreats, then it's up to me to shift, to give her a little facelift, right? To say, you know what? Yeah, we thought this way up until now, but that's not how we do things now. I'm going to teach you a different story of how we do things, right?
I love that.
And that's what growing your awareness looks like. But that's what expanding and expressing and creating and, right? It's universal law. You either create or you disintegrate.
And on another one, I was about to say the law of polarities when you talked about fear, faith, which is why you hear people more openly talk about what faith means to them. It could be your spiritual guide. It could be the universe. It could be God. It could be Allah. It doesn't matter who it is. And anybody that is spiritual, I'll be honest, they don't care who it is either. You can have an intelligent spiritual conversation with people outside of, inclusive of religion, where we couldn't in the past.
Yeah.
Even if you talk about spirituality, for the most part, there's always a few exceptions, but here's the thing. So when I say faith is the opposite of fear, your faith can encompass a lot of things. Don't think it has to be, and this where I had a limiting belief in the past. I thought faith could only be one thing.
Right.
But that wasn't in alignment with the way I was feeling in other areas of my life.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So when I encompass faith to be so much more, things that matter to me, that lift my spirit, that make me happy and positive,
Yeah.
that's faith to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we're in a space of fear, so here's the thing. You can't, let's go with me on this example. You can't sing and think at the same time.
No.
Right? So you're living totally in the moment. You can't, I teach this in my boxing class. You can't box and think at the same time. Because you just physically can't.
Right.
So if you're in a space of fear and somehow you can shift that to a feeling of faith,
Yeah.
It might take a day or two, a week or two, a month or two. Don't judge yourself for the process, but I promise you this, reach out, do whatever you can to get quickly into that space of faith. Everything will spin in your favor, up the abundance wheel for the law of attraction. And it won't take you long before you are living your truest, authentic life.
And all it takes, it starts with decision.
Yeah.
So you're deciding to have your calendar look different. And
Right.
in a year from now, you will look back at your calendar and say, this is what I decided to do over the last year, and look at what my life looks like now. And you can then reflect on it, right?
Yes.
And we're coming up to the end of the year. And I think I'm not a big New Year's resolution person. I believe in, you want to do something, start today.
Right.
Like, don't wait, because you're getting it today for a reason. Like, start now. But for the rest of humanity, the coming of the year is like a reflection of like, how did I spend my last year, right? And I mean, you talk about the last 2 years, talk about paradigm forming behaviors, right? And it's been the ultimate excuse on why, like, you talk to people, how are you doing? Oh, you know, like Corona, Sharona, whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, like, when you're living from the outside in, that's 100% that's what you're going to keep getting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you live from the inside out, then you can go,
oh, the sunset was beautiful this morning.
That's right. Absolutely.
Like, and it is, because
yeah,
your life fills up with so many simple pleasures because you appreciate that much more.
100%. And you get to decide and create and make your own economy and do so many awesome other things.
Okay, Dylan, we've already been chatting for over an hour.
We have?
So 2 things I want to say here. First of all, this was fun, wasn't it?
It was so fun.
Did it honestly feel like you were just chatting with a friend, and did you forget that you were kind of on Facebook?
Chatting with a friend. Yes, absolutely.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like that feeling of,
yeah,
you didn't feel like you were being interviewed. You probably forgot you were doing a podcast at one point.
Yeah, I did.
So that's what it's like, guys, when we chat. Honestly, it feels like we've known each other forever. It feels, and this is people that are in alignment will make you feel like that.
Yep.
You could say, oh, I may have known Dylan for a week and I'd be like, I'm having the worst day ever. And she wouldn't care that I've known her a week.
Yep.
She's probably one of those people that doesn't even care that you reach out to her on Facebook, where you've got the other people that want to know why.
Yep.
So
please do reach out.
Who are you in alignment with?
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, abundance today. Actually, I want to hear from you first. When we talked about abundance, when we pulled the abundance card, and we're going back in our reels of our mind right now, thinking about the conversations that we had, what's your biggest takeaway about abundance today? Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. My biggest, I mean, it's no accident that we were supposed to talk about abundance. I know my purpose is to wake people up to their abundant self. So I was like, of course we would draw that. But I love how even we talked about like creation versus competition. Like that's an abundant lifestyle, right? And when you can tap into that, like attracts like. You will start drawing in more abundance, but you have to start with the things that you think. It starts with your thought, and then it triggers everything else.
So I absolutely loved what you took as your highlights today. I'm going to throw this out to the audience, because anybody that's listening to either one of our podcasts, we're going to, Dylan, you're more than welcome to share this on your podcast as well. I think we're going to cross share this on all of our platforms. so you can access the video on YouTube. But listen, if you want us to carry on a weekly or a bi-weekly dialogue like we did today with different Q&As, answering your Q&As together,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Dylan, but I'd be completely up for it.
I love it.
We've written books. We are both in network marketing. We're both moms. I think we have different marital stories. We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, I don't even know yet.
There is so much we can share with you. And like you, the entertainment, the vibe today, I loved it. I loved it. So,
my face hurts.
Yeah.
From smiling. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I know, right? It's awesome. I'm like, my lips are dry again and my tea is cold again. But did you check out, before we leave, the coffee cup I chose for today?
Yeah, what is it? Stay you. I love that.
My mom gave me a set that says stay true and stay you, and they've become my favorites.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's so good.
And how about you? What's yours?
Mine doesn't say anything anymore. It actually came off. It used to say mom, wife, boss.
Okay.
And but I just like the way it feels. It's marble, but it's light and it's the perfect size. So
Perfect.
I've like watched you and a couple other people like switch up the mugs every day, and I'm like, no, I have like 2 mugs that I like.
Yeah, wait, mugs might not be your thing. So I'm going to ask you this before we leave for today, because people have heard me talk about my anchor as coffee cups.
Yes.
Right? Every time I choose that coffee cup, I am anchoring my thoughts, my beliefs, my purpose into my dream and my goal. And this is me living my future life. When this becomes the hardest decision I have to make for the day, I know I've achieved time freedom.
Yep.
I've elevated finances and I have imbalanced health. Those are my goals, right? So I am working towards my goals every single time I choose this coffee cup. So another anchor for me is, believe it or not, a clear candle every day on my desk. Normally it's not that one. I took it from my daughter's room. Normally a crystal.
Yep.
Okay. I have one citrine on me, but I have a whole bunch that I choose from. And I have charms on my bracelet. Like charm, like, and then charms. So those are some of my anchors. What else? What do you have?
But
oh, wait, I have one more thing.
Oh.
If I were to flip this around, I have pillows. I have an abundance of pillows everywhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because for me, that's coziness.
Too. Yeah, I like that too. Honestly, like I anchor myself in my rituals and my habits. And like I start my morning, like I wake up at 5 a.m., which is like 2 hours before my family wakes up. And I like drink my essential oils in my water. I fill my diffusers and I choose those, and I choose my oils intuitively. I take my supplements and I study. From 5 till 7, I study. I have a study club. We read together every day, and we study. We study ourselves and we debrief with each other. We raise each other's vibration, and that is my anchor. Like truly, like I'm so grateful for my study peeps that are listening right now. You guys are rock stars. I just love being with you every day.
So I'm going to challenge you on something.
Yeah, do it.
This is for her next takeaway, guys. So who's ever listening, you're going to keep us accountable. So first of all, you need to know, oh, this is the wrong book. Hang on. You need to know that Dylan challenged me on something. Seeing if I have it here. I do. Dylan challenged me on something. Last time we spoke, I needed to let her know everything that's on my list, my wish list. So I've got a page. She said everything, little thing, write it down. A page. I'm not going to share them all with you in detail. I'll share some of them in private. And I've got a few more things to add to this list. It's been sitting out and I've been adding to it. So she challenged me to something.
Yep.
I am going to challenge her to something.
Oh, do it.
And when we get it done, when we get that thing done, we each have to get either each other or ourselves one of our anchors.
Deal.
Get it? Deal?
Deal.
Whatever your anchor is, you can tell me. Here's the thing. Right now, you're sharing with me that your favorite time of the day is your morning time.
Yeah.
Okay? How can you add an anchor to that? I'm going to give you some ideas.
Okay.
Okay? If you use colored pens as you're journaling, as you're doing your mindset work, your personal development, that's going to enhance creativity.
Right.
Throughout your day.
Yep.
So if you don't have colored pens yet, that could be an anchor.
I do.
Okay?
Yep.
What if you've got yourself a really nice journal?
Yep.
Okay. So she's got anchors. What if you get yourself a really cool pair of pajamas to wear that aren't pajamas?
I have a robe that I wear. It's an
Nope.
anchor. Sure.
That's
No.
it. Nope. Do you feel like your future self in that robe?
Heck yeah. It even
Okay.
has a diamond on it.
Okay. Maybe a crown? Maybe you need something. You need to add something to your favorite time of the day that's going to enhance the experience. What could
Okay.
that be?
Well, I am very much like, what do I see? What do I hear? What do I taste? What do I smell? What do I touch? Right. So I smell my oils.
Yep.
Right. I see, like, all in front of me. I have, this is my vision. Right.
So your
Like,
vision boards, okay.
you guys don't, but they're looking at me from my goal. I don't look at them saying, oh, I wish I had you. I don't do that. They're like calling to me. Right. What do I taste? I taste, or
Okay.
my teas, my lemon water. And what am I touching? I've got like fuzzy, I'm with you with the pillows, and like I've got like throws, because it's like cozy, it's comfortable, and I'm like anchored in it. But me with my goal achieved, I'm 100% wearing my robe.
So what does, okay, and that's cool. That's cool.
My
With your goal,
Lulu's, like, I'm hanging out. Yeah.
So what is it? And it doesn't have to be now,
Okay.
but this is your goal, because it's time to add something into this current space that you already love that's going to challenge you to work a little bit harder on your goals.
Okay.
Okay. And it'll come to you.
Posted. Yeah.
It'll come to you. And it shouldn't necessarily be instant unless you've been thinking about it already. Otherwise, let it come to you. And you might let it surprise you.
What just came to me right now was some cards.
Oracle cards.
Totally anchor. Like, that's just, I don't have any. I need to get some.
There you go.
I think that's just what came to me. And I mean, I have no reason to.
Right? Okay, yeah. So how many do I need to put on my list? There's my challenge. Give me a number. First number that came to mind.
Well, the first number that always comes to my mind is 7, or 3. It's one or the other.
I've got more than 7, more than 3.
Oh. Okay. $27.
Okay. Got it. Wrote it down. In this book.
That's I just switched from that.
Oh my gosh,
that was my journal before I switched out to this one. That's hilarious.
I just switched from a white one that said like sparkle and shine.
Carpe diem was my last one. I love that.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a great time for our heart to heart today. I'm looking forward to getting this one posted. We're going to call it Abundance. I'm probably going to take a picture of the Oracle card and use it. Although I should probably screenshot our faces, but it doesn't matter. And then we'll share this to the different platforms. And guys, if you have any questions, both Dylan and I will put we'll put our contact information on here.
Yep.
And you can reach the other person, no problem.
That's right.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing time with us. Do you have anything that you want to add before you go?
Not at all. I'm here to serve. So if anybody's feeling like, you know, you can even just follow along on Facebook and Instagram at Dylan Miller. I have a beautiful community all around the law of vibration. So High Vibe Life is where you can find me.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And we've got another guest speaker next week, so stay tuned for that one, and have yourself a great week.
See you guys.